The Tale of Shim Chong. Once upon a time, in a village long ago, there lived a blind man named Sim Bong Sa. He had a beautiful daughter named Sim Chong. Sim Chong's mother passed away right after giving birth to her, so Sim Bong Sa had to raise her alone, carrying her around to get milk from kind neighbors. Song Chong, who grew up quickly and was over 10 years old, helped with other people's work to earn money and took care of her father. One day, Sim Chong went to work in a neighboring village, but when she didn't return by evening, Sim Bong Se went out to meet her. While groping his way across a bridge, he accidentally fell into a stream. A passing monk rescued him and said,
"If you offer 300 bags of rice to Buddha, you will be able to see again. But looking at your situation, 300 bags of rice may be too difficult."
Upon hearing this, Sim Bong Se shouted with joy at the possibility of seeing again and made a promise, although he soon sighed in worry. When Sim Chong returned and heard the story, she comforted her father, saying she would find a way to get the 300 bags of rice. Just then, some sailors came to the village looking for a maiden to sacrifice to the sea god. Sim Chong approached them and said,
"Please buy me for 300 bags of rice and offer me as a sacrifice."
The sailors agreed and gave Sim Bong Sa the rice and some money for food. When Sim Bong Sa found out the truth, he tried to stop her, crying, but the boat carrying Sim Chong had already reached the sea. Although afraid, Sim Chong made a wish before jumping into the sea. "Please let my father regain his sight." She fainted in front of the Sea King's palace under the sea, and the sea fairies carried her to the Sea King. After hearing her story, the Sea King was deeply moved by her filial piety.
"Your devotion to your father is truly admirable. Place Sim Chong inside a lotus flower and float her to the surface."
Thanks to the Sea King's kindness, Sim Chong returned to the surface in a giant lotus flower. That flower was eventually offered to the king. As the king marveled at the enormous lotus, its petals opened, revealing the beautiful Sim Chong. Delighted, the king made Sim Chong his queen. She was a kind and virtuous queen, but often wept thinking of her father. Wanting to comfort her, the king held a grand feast and invited all the blind people in the kingdom. Sim Bong Sa, hearing the news, made his way to the palace, tripping and stumbling in his tattered clothes like a beggar. But Sim Chong recognized him instantly.
"Father, it's me, Chong."
Overwhelmed with joy, Sim Bong Sa suddenly regained his sight. And miraculously, all the other blind guests regained their sight as well. Sim Bong Se then lived happily ever after in the palace with his beloved daughter, Sim Chong.